No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You've got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ooh, the gym.
Old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller. In a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
To the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News, as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktails Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Good evening, Boise State Mountain West basketball fans, and welcome to the Lawlor Events Center here in Reno, Nevada. Both teams on the floor warming up, and we are getting set for a showdown in the Mountain West here between Boise State and the Nevada Wolfpack. We welcome you in courtside, BJ Rains and Abe Jackson. You'll hear Abe on the call coming up in about 15, 20 minutes or so over on 670 KBOI on the pregame radio. You'll have the game broadcast at the I'm always screwed up on the Pacific and Mountain time zone. It's an 8 p.m. broadcast Mountain time, correct? An 8:30 tip-off on 670 KBOI. Abe and Bob, you can listen to them. So, Abe, thanks for doing this as always. Big one tonight.
It is. Boise State coming off that nice win at home against Colorado State, and I think this is a conference where you have to handle the business on your home court, and the Broncos did that against a tough Colorado State team, 2-0 in conference, coming into a place where it's been tough to win, not just for the Broncos, but for a lot of teams in Nevada. They're a good team again.
We're playing with fire here, by the way, with our tripod out here. It's a little further away than usual, and it's right by where the Nevada players are standing going through their warm-ups. We'll show you the view on the other side of the tripod right there. So we put the over-under at about 90 seconds on the ball hitting it or somebody bumping it and you not being able to see us. But for now, we are okay. But, Abe, we talked a lot about the competitiveness in this conference, and these top teams are probably going to beat up on each other a little bit. But, when you're the home team, you got to protect home court and take advantage of this game. This is a game Nevada obviously needs to win. It's one that Boise State could certainly steal and would certainly help them. But I think that, I don't know if house money is the right word, but I think Boise State comes in here tonight with a ton to gain and really not a lot to lose.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really expected this year to win a whole bunch of road games because the conference is so tough, especially when you're not talking about teams like Air Force, San Jose, Wyoming, Fresno, where you probably should win your road games. Anybody else, it's going to be really tough. You pull off a win here, and that gets you to 3-0, and you already beat one of the better teams in the league, who some people think could be the best team in the league, Nevada, on their home court. It's a big game. And if the Broncos keep playing like they have, I like their chances.
Let us know again if you can hear us okay. I'm sure you would have told us by now if you couldn't. But we're on the baseline here. A little unique setup for Bronco Nation News. We'll be right by the Boise State bench. Still not the Abe and Bob seats right next to the bench, but a little better than we've been in the past here. We'll probably have the cheerleaders blocking our view, so we'll see. But you were telling me before we started, first of all, the roads here, it hasn't snowed in a couple days, but you would think it just snowed a foot, and you would think it's never snowed here because the roads are still not in great shape. And you were also telling me that school's either not in session or the students aren't back yet. So not expecting a huge student crowd behind us tonight.
That's what I heard someone saying over there while we were setting up the equipment is that the kids aren't back. So that'll be nice for you because you're right in front of where they sit. That could get a little loud in your head. But, it'd still be a nice crowd, though. I mean, Nevada's only lost one game, so I think a lot of people are going to come out and watch them.
Yeah, it's close to a sellout, not a sellout, but I did say I went online and looked, and there's some upper-level seats, but for the most part, it should be fairly full and a good atmosphere tonight. And this game and this matchup, obviously Nevada, as you said, 15-1. I personally think that some of that is a result of the schedule they've played.
Of course.
And I'm looking forward to seeing them in person tonight to see just how good they are. But what do you make of the way they went about their schedule? Certainly a little different than Boise State. And they got a couple really nice wins, but with the overall strength of schedule, Boise State has certainly challenged themselves more, and maybe why their record is not quite where Nevada's is.
Well, and it could be one of those things that you wanted to give yourself a chance with your record once you got to this tough conference because you might lose 5, 6, 7 games in conference. So maybe Nevada's outlook was that we want to kind of have a easier non-conference. So then we don't rack up the losses before the conference season starts. But Nevada's very good. We're going to be talking like this about almost every team in the Mountain West, that they're heavy on the guard play. Keenan Blackshear and Jared Lucas, they are two of the better guards in the conference. Keenan Blackshear, I think, is going to be a first-team all-conference player. But you know what I did like, too, was the defense that Boise State's guards played against Colorado State. The preseason player of the year, Isaiah Stevens, averaging 18 points a game, only had 3 points in the first half. Only 3 shot attempts. And so after that game, I kind of started to look at our guard play a little bit differently. There's been all this, I don't know, harping on our guards, right? They score more, do this, do that.
The point guard in particular.
Maybe the 1 and 2 guards. Maybe we just need to change our mindset about what we need from those guards. With Omar Stanley picking up the pace offensively and being a legit double-double threat, maybe we don't need the guards to give us 8 to 12 points a game like we were thinking between Roddy Anderson, Jace Whiting, Max Rice. Maybe we need them to take care of the ball and play really good defense. If you play really good defense and hold a score like Isaiah Stevens, only 3 points in the first half, we don't need you to come out and score 8 or 9 points. So I think maybe the mindset of what we need from the guards this year with Omar Stanley scoring more points, in my mind, has kind of changed a little bit.
Speaking of the defense, Nevada gets to the foul line. I think they're number 4 in the country in terms of percentage of points that come from the foul line. They get to the foul line more than just about anybody in the country. Keenan Blackshear is a big part of that, physical, driving, getting to the lane. How do you defend without fouling, and what do you do against a team that loves to get to the foul line?
Well, I think a lot of it is how the game's going to be called. Last year, there was over 40 fouls called, and 2 players fouled out for the Broncos. It was just a slog of a game because you couldn't get up and down the court without a foul being called. But they do put a lot of pressure on you. Keenan Blackshear, a thick, strong, tall guard, can get into your body. But I think a lot of it is your help side defense. If you don't have good help side defense and hedging on those drives, then you allow him all the way to get to the hoop, and he's probably going to get a foul. He's very good at using his body to either create contact or make it look like he's creating contact, and they get a lot of points from the line.
A little bit of pregame news. Cam Martin is on the floor at the other end warming up. Good news for Boise State. We'll still find out, Abe, how effective he's going to be moving forward. Probably not going to be the as big of a threat from the outside as we thought coming into the season he would be, dealing with a shoulder injury. There was some concern. I mean, after the last game, Leon said, say a prayer for him. Like, there was thought he might be done or at least be out for a while. For him to decide to put off surgery and try to gut through this the rest of the season, again, we'll see if that ends up being a positive in terms of what he can do. But what do you make of Cam Martin trying to help this team?
Oh, you know, I don't think that he's going to be doing, I don't know, right? But I'm assuming he's not going to be doing any major damage to the shoulder, or there probably would be a different decision.
They said it can't make it any worse.
Then okay, so then it's just, how do you pain management and kind of where your pain threshold is, and we'll see. It's one thing in practice to go and run around, then it's another thing to get into a real game and have solid screens that you got to go through with your shoulder, put your arms above your head to grab a rebound in traffic with your shoulder. So it'll be interesting to see how many minutes he logs.
What else for Boise State are you looking at going into this one?
I want to see if Omar Stanley can continue the tear that he's on. There's a couple good big guys for Nevada. We're not talking big like Washington State, but 6'8", 6'9", who Omar Stanley has really kind of owned this year when that's the size of the other 5 men. So I'm going to be looking at him, and then I'm going to be looking at Chibuzo Abo as well. I feel like we haven't really talked about him the last few games with the Omar Stanley offensive explosions that we've seen, but I wouldn't mind seeing Abo knock down 3 or 4 threes tonight.
Well, he hit like 6 in a row when I was filming this footage, so maybe that's a good omen.
There we go.
On the road, right? It's stay out of foul trouble, play good defense, and then you're going to have to hit some key shots.
You're going to have to hit key shots. You're also going to have to rebound. A team that can get to the free throw line, if you give them extra possessions and not defensively rebound the ball, then it could be a long night, because if you get through a possession and make them miss, you got to grab it, because chances are that offensive glass for Nevada is either going to end up in a bucket or to the free throw line.
Final thing, and then you'll be on in 14 minutes with Bob Beeler over there on 670 KBUI. Just like we kind of opened with it, I'll kind of close with a similar question. But just this game, it's one game out of 18. But certainly if Boise State were to find a way to win, it would put them in a really nice spot.
Well, this is one that when you look at it and you go through the schedule and you say, okay, here's a win, there's a loss, here's a win, and you kind of just bracket it out of what you think. I mean, honestly, this one, you come in and you say, okay, this one could be a loss. So when you get a win at a place like this on the road, that is worth almost, I know it's only worth one win, but it could be worth even more, because there's a lot of teams that you're going to be battling with for positioning at the end of the year that are probably going to come into this building and lose. So you get a win, and I think that it will definitely help you out later on.
Somebody was asking if we've seen any bats yet.
Any bats?
Yeah, you haven't heard about the bats.
Haven't heard about the bats.
They had some problems at some games earlier this year with some bats flying down, and had to stop the game.
Guano.
They had to stop the game.
That's bat dropping.
Okay. I don't know if that were the case, but there was multiple games this year. We're actually going to hear from Leon Rice. We're actually going to see the bats. But, yeah, keep an eye on the sky tonight, Abe.
Yeah, we'll have the head tilted up.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Have a good call.
Yeah,
you'll hear him. You'll hear Abe and Bob over there on 670 KBOI coming up at the top of the hour here in about 12 minutes. We appreciate our man Abe Jackson, as always, for the Abe Jackson pregame report here on Bronco Nation News. We got a ton to get to. We're going to hear a little bit from Steve Alford. I also mentioned the bats, and we're going to hear about the bats, and we're going to see the bats and what's going on there. Yes, they have a problem with bats here in Lawlor Arena, and they're working on that, so we will find out if they've fixed that problem or not. Here tonight. We're also going to hear from Leon Rice about Cam Martin, calling Cam Martin courageous for what he's going through right now and toughing it out, trying to play. He is on the floor. Again, it is what it is. They've got us in a nice baseline seat here, but we're at the opposite end. We'll be right next to Boise State's bench, so we'll have a great view once the game starts, but for the pregame show, it's kind of hard to see Boise State warming up down there, so apologize for that. But we're going to hear from Leon Rice on Cam Martin. We're going to talk about him. I mentioned the bat situation, Steve Alford. We got a ton to get to here on Bronco Nation News. Big one in the Mountain West, Boise State and Nevada. We're going to take a quick 90-second timeout. Thanks some of our sponsors. Go grab another Cutwater, and we'll be back in 90 seconds here on Bronco Nation News. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. Back here live on the Lithia, Florida, Boise, a pregame show here at Bronco Nation News. We're in the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios at the Lawlor Events Center in Reno. Bronco Nation News, along with Abe and Bob on the radio side, KBOI, KTIK, the only local media outlet that made the trip down here to Reno. So hopefully you know where to go for your coverage, both pregame, postgame on the shows here. And then obviously we'll have the full story up at BroncoNationNews.com later tonight after the game as well. We would love your subscription. BNN 50 deal. You see the promo code there at the bottom of the screen. And I just remembered that I forgot to put our wheel together. So I terribly apologize. I know a lot of you guys are watching to do the giveaways. And I'll see if I can do that for the postgame show. We will do that on the postgame show. I'll have our intern, Jaden Finch, try to help us out. And we will do the giveaway on the postgame show because I forgot to put our wheel together. I wanted to update it with all the new subscribers today. And I didn't do that, so I apologize. But we're giving away some really cool stuff. And we'll do that on the postgame show, hopefully, if we can get that done. You see the crowd behind me starting to file in. Nevada 15-1 on the season. Boise State 11-4. A key early season game here in the Mountain West. We had some talk about the officiating. A couple of you guys were asking about the referees. The three officials tonight. The lead official is Vern Harris. Vern Harris, a veteran, done a lot of Boise State games, has done the Final Four national championship game, I believe. So the lead referee tonight is Vern Harris. Michael Irving, I believe at one point was a sheriff in somewhere in the Los Angeles area, college basketball referee now. You'll recognize him as well. Michael Irving does not call a lot of fouls, usually lets guys play, which could be a good thing, I guess, for a team like Nevada that loves to get to the free throw line. And then Jeffrey Anderson. Keep an eye on Jeffrey Anderson tonight. High Knees Anderson. He actually has a Twitter account that is designed just for him for his high knees. And he literally, when he jogs down the court, he high knees it all the way down the court. He'll do a little karaoke at times when he's coming in. He's a kind of a acrobatic guy there with some of his calls. He was on the call, and he actually made the foul call with 4 seconds left in the Gonzaga-Santa Clara game last night. That was Jeffrey Anderson that made the call. He typically does a lot of Big Ten, Big East, ACC games, I believe, but he's on a little bit of a West Coast swing here, and he did the Santa Clara Gonzaga game last night and has made his way to Reno. So if you're on Twitter, check out High Knees Ref, I think, is the Twitter account. Jeffrey Anderson is it's kind of a parody account that always posts where he's at. But he's one of the more well-known, bigger officials in the country, and you will see him tonight along with Vern Harris and Michael Irving. Okay, the bats. We're going to talk Cam Martin. We're going to talk about the real stuff that matters in this game. But, yes, there are bats that have been making their way around Lawlor Events Center, and there was a game earlier this season where they actually had to stop the game because there were bats. And so it was about a month ago or so. And here is Steve Alford, the coach at Nevada, talking about the bats.
The bat thing is getting pretty embarrassing, and it needs to be fixed. It's uncalled for. We are a big-time basketball program, and we shouldn't be dealing with bats. We shouldn't have a stoppage of play because we're dealing with diving bats. Now, Brooks Barnett, KB's son, loved it. He thinks Spider-Man's coming to the next game. So, but it's just, it can't happen.
There's Steve Alford saying it can't happen with the bats. And again, you saw in the clip, there was actually bats making their way around the arena. If you see here, there's like a couple bats going around. The mascot had some bats around him. And I don't think it's been quite as big of a problem the last couple of games, but Leon Rice was joking about it, and I'm going to play Leon's clip next. He was saying that he heard that the bats were still a big problem because he's hoping that nobody comes tonight. So here's Leon Rice yesterday back in Boise joking about the bats.
Well, I'm worried about the rabid bats in the Belfry. That's what I'm mostly concerned with, and I think all the fans should be really concerned about that and probably stay away unless you want to be a vampire. I mean, that's on you. If you get bit yeah, don't say I didn't tell you. Don't come. Oh yeah, absolutely, no doubt. And I watched Gilligan's Island back in the day. Didn't they have a big bat problem and some rabid bat? I don't know.
What happened with the bat?
I think we had one in the garage. I think we got him out safely. Okay. Yes. I'm an animal lover, so it was humanely done. Yeah.
Welcome them tomorrow.
Yeah, but tomorrow, yeah. But I heard it got worse. I heard they all had babies, and they tested them, and there's a lot of them that are rabid. A lot. They got a lot of rabid. A lot of people are talking about that. A lot of rabid bats in the belfry.
Could be born in the next 24 hours too, probably.
Right. So, yeah. I don't know what a belfry is, but apparently they have those in Lawlor.
Well, there you go. You had the bat problem, and apparently it's been fixed to this point. So, oh my gosh, look who it is. Look who it is. Oh, no, are we live? Yeah, we are live, man. Here, take this real quick. Give us your thoughts on the game here. We'll take your thoughts real quick. We got our man Connor Johnstone. Somehow they gave this guy a ticket to the game tonight. You got to lower the headset down so we can actually hear you here. Just lower the headset down. But just stand right here. There we go. Perfect. All right. You're completely. You don't need to sit down. Just stand there for a second. It'll be quick. How you feeling about the game here, man?
A little nervous, I'll be honest with you. Arena's a lot nicer than I thought. Crowd was pretty energetic pregame, so I'm a little nervous.
The first comment says, "Why not us?"
There we go, Derek. Yeah, why not us?
You having a good time in Reno, though?
Yeah, it's a good time. It's actually, I'll never give them the credit they deserve, but it's a decent town.
How are you doing at the tables so far?
Haven't tried, so I'm up, I guess you could say.
The end zone is lonely tonight, they said, without you.
I appreciate that, guys.
You're nervous, though. You're going to be right behind the bench. You're going to be making some noise.
These fans are wild, man.
Yeah.
We got kind of told to leave at the bar we were at. They are not friendly to the guys in the royal blue.
You've already been kicked out of a bar in Reno.
I didn't do anything. They just weren't happy. They were not.
Oh my gosh! You brought some buddies though. You guys are ready to make some noise.
Yeah, we have some buddies.
Get
here.
After it tonight.
Yeah, we got some buddies here ready to roll. I hate this fan base, so I'm ready to.
So you really want to win tonight?
Yeah, I want to win. Absolutely.
All right, man. If they get the win tonight, maybe I'll see you out at the tables afterwards. Good luck.
Potentially.
Appreciate you, man. Good luck.
Thanks for
Go Bronco. Hey, there you go, man. Glad you could stop by. Appreciate you, man. The great Connor Johnstone. They got their buddies here. They're fired up. They're ready to go. There's at least 3 Boise State fans here tonight, so there you go. Always like putting you on. If you're a fan and you come to a game and we see you, we'll throw you on. Why not? So you got Big Mo Silla. We got some of the Boise State players walking off. We'll put that on here and show them walking off the court here for you. Going with the black uniforms tonight for Boise State. The new black uniforms this year, and they've had pretty good success with those as well this year. But you see Cade Rice, Andrew Meadow, Chibuzo Abba walking off. Could be a big night for Andrew Meadow. We saw what he did in that game against Colorado State. We just heard our first Boise is not a state chant from a student behind me here. So they're ready to roll with the very unique chants tonight here in Reno. Is tonight the R.J. Keene game? Oh, there we go. They're talking some trash. R.J. Keene had a little chuckle for him. So kind of a unique design here, kind of the bowl, one level. You see the bowl, it goes all the way up. I see the great Max Corbett is in attendance here tonight. So we actually have some Boise State fans, actually. So there's Max Corbett. They serve beer here, but I heard it was not cheap. Here comes Tyson and Max coming off. The fans are usually in a good mood here. And you're going to have a couple Boise State fans. I've seen some, but it's going to be a nice crowd tonight. Not a ton of Boise State fans. Here comes Emmanuel Ugbo. He is on the trip, but obviously not playing this year. He is working through some eligibility things. He'll be back ideally next season, or should be next season. It will be next season. Somebody else asked about his eligibility. Not sure if he's going to have 3 years or 4, by the way. Not sure if it'll be 3 or 4. There's Cody Gogler. This guy goes T-shirt and sport coat. No one else can go T-shirt and sport coat like Cody Gogler can. So good to see Cody on the trip as always as well. And Connor looked extremely anxious, as if more had happened to him than being asked to leave the bar. He was behaving himself. I think he's sitting right behind the bench. He might be. So maybe he's just on his best behavior tonight. I'm not sure, but yeah, there'll be a couple Boise State fans here. Let's see here. I'm not in Vegas, but definitely take the spread. Yeah, like what, 6.5 points? Boise State's favored by like 6.5 points. That seems super high. Let's take our, while they're off the court for a couple of minutes, let's go ahead and take our last 90-second timeout. We'll take a quick 90-second break. We'll come back. We'll set the scene. We'll talk about Cam Martin, hear from Leon Rice talking about Cam Martin. We'll show you the team when they retake the floor. So we'll get our last break out of the way here. 90 seconds. We'll be right back here on Bronco Nation News. Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON Management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON Management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at tacobellworks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com. Had somebody asking about Chris Murray. He is not here tonight. I was trying to get him on the pregame show, but he could not make it to this one. But he always does do a good job on the budget numbers there. I agree with you there, Jordan, so we appreciate him for that. This is the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. LithiaFordBoise.com. Check them out. View that full inventory of vehicles. We are sitting on the baseline courtside here at Lawlor Events Center in Reno, right by the end of the Boise State bench. So we're going to have a good view of what's going on here at Boise State. And one of those players that will be on the bench and in the lineup, Cam Martin. Cam Martin, very interesting turn of events on Cam Martin. This was a guy that Max Rice first of all, he didn't play in the second half against San Jose State, and then Max Rice went on the radio, KTIK, and said that he was dealing with a shoulder injury. Then he didn't play the next day against Colorado State, and then after the game, Leon Rice said to say a prayer for him, and it really seemed like he might be out for a long, extended period of time, but Leon Rice breaking the news yesterday that Cam Martin is back. He is going to play through this injury and not have surgery till after the season. Let's hear Leon Rice talking about Cam Martin.
We'll have Cam back, and that's exciting because, it's Cam's going through some stuff. Was a prolific scorer before he went to KU, and then he got hurt, and that shoulder is, it's tough on athletes when their body can't do what they want and they know they can do. And so it can lead to frustration, and it's hard. And it's hard on guys. And because Cam, that dude could score and shoot. And, you're only getting to see a guy with maybe half of his physical abilities. But the thing that I think he's settling into and understanding is that that's just the reality. And that's everybody makes a plan, but the plan is out the window a lot of times, and you just got to adjust. And he's being super tough, super courageous, and unselfish to try to help this team and be in a role that can help this team. And he's putting his body on the line. And when I say that, there's no risk to making it worse. He's going to have surgery as soon as the season ends, but the pain he goes through on a daily, the frustration maybe he goes through. And I think we've made progress with that in the fact that, hey, you have value and you're helping this team, and this team appreciates it. And the fan base should, because, I'm just speaking honestly. Usually coaches keep this stuff secret, but this kid needs to be recognized for what he's going through. And, we've had a lot of guys in this program that have done that, and they don't, it's hard. And Max, a couple years ago, after a game, he couldn't even walk, and he looked like he was 80 years old. And but they want to help the team. They want to help their teammates. They want to win for the jersey, and that's what Cam's doing right now. So kudos to him. And that's pretty cool that a guy comes into the program and is that invested in it that quickly. And it's because of the guys he plays with and because of the kind of guy he is. And it's pretty courageous, and I hope the fan base appreciates what he's doing. And I know sometimes fans can be really critical of a guy, but not knowing what he's really going through. And he's helped win us a lot of games already, and has had great moments.
With him, I went back and looked at some of his highlights from the Division II days, and you compare it to now, he has like a little bit of almost like a hitch in his release.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so does the shoulder play into that?
Absolutely.
You said he's looking to do things well for you.
Right.
What are those?
Oh, I mean, he's one of the headiest players we have. And so, okay, double down on that. Become the smartest player in the league, I mean, he knows what's going on in the game. He's one of the best passers on this team. And, he can rebound, he can defend, he has a feel for the game. He's and the thing that I told him is maybe this is what you need. Maybe you need a year of becoming a great defensive player, great rebounder, great passer, doing all those things. And then, you're going to become a great scorer when you get the shoulder back. I mean, it might extend his career for a long, long, long time because he's a talent. And I say that, but he's one of those guys that you have to guard him. It's not like if you choose not to guard him, my money's that he's going to make them. And same with in the post. He can jump up and score. And, so he's going to still have a lot of value to this team. And, I'm just, you're grateful as a coach to have these guys that, in the day and age of guys opt out right away and guys, nobody playing in bowl games, all that stuff that goes on. And you got a guy that's sacrificing for his teammates and this program.
When you say, you guys will be getting Cam back, is that an eventually timeline? Is that a sooner rather than later timeline? Is it
Sooner.
Well, tomorrow's game?
Sooner.
And there he said it there at the end. Didn't want to say when Cam Martin would be back, but Cam Martin is suiting up and looks like will play tonight. How much he plays, we'll have to wait and see, but he was out there during warmups, and so big news, and that's a big deal for Cam Martin. Again, we'll see how effective he is, what he can do out there on the court, but even 5 or 6 minutes here and there to spell a Tyson or to spell a Omar Stanley, and who knows with foul trouble and stuff like that. And oh man, yeah, you got Connor Johnstone and these guys literally in the front row right behind the bench. This could get very interesting tonight, just to say the least. But yeah, they are front row on the floor right behind the bench, so you're going to have at least a couple of fans. They're probably going to be on TV most of the game, I would think. They're right there behind the bench. So Ben says, officially a BNN subscriber now. Get me on that trip to San Diego. Thank you so much, Ben. Appreciate that. That means a lot. By the way, this is going to be my view tonight. We're stuck behind the cheerleaders the entire game, so they will stand and do their thing, and then hopefully when the game starts, they'll sit down. But for the time being, the cheerleaders are going to be right in front of us. So behind which bench, Derek says, that is the Boise State bench. They're right here by us in the corner by the Boise State bench. But Ben, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for jumping on board with a subscription. Super appreciative and thankful. Those of you that haven't done it yet, we would love to have you jump in. Again, we're giving away a private jet trip to San Diego for the final game of the regular season as Boise State takes the floor here. And if the cheerleaders move, I'll try to show you in a second. But private round trip, private jet for 2, going to San Diego for the final game of the season. 1-night hotel stay. You come back the next day. It's going to be an awesome time. We're going to get our man on that won the trip last year and talk about it as we continue to promote and get excited for the trip again this year. But check it out. And we'll be giving away weekly items such as this chair, which we'll try to remember to do on the post-game show. May have to be Monday. BNN 50 deals, the promo code. $50 for a full 1-year subscription, BroncoNationNews.com. And again, we'd love to have you help support our travel efforts and all of our stuff. And very appreciative of everyone, including you, Ben, that have signed up with it recently for a subscription. So both teams now on the floor. You can see Boise State warming up at the other end of the court. You can see Nevada going through some shots right in front of us. The crowd also is filing in for this one. So going to be a lot of fun. and really looking forward to this one as well. Get your score predictions in. Get your comments in. Can you post the stats at halftime and after the game? Lisa, we will certainly try to do that. So let's see here. I should have known you guys were going to make some comments about the view with the cheerleaders right in front of me. Let's see here. You guys are – can we see that terrible view again? Tripods – all right, I'm going to just I'm going to skip over a lot of this, not get myself in any trouble here. But they will be seated, so we should have a good view hopefully when the game starts. I was thinking about it. I was actually talking to Leon Rice before the game. A lot of great games in here. I remember when Eric Musselman was here and this place was packed when they had the Martin twins and you had the sellout crowds, and there's been some great battles in here. And last year, Boise State could have won here. This is the one game last year that I missed. I didn't come to Reno last year. I was at the Kansas Bowl game. And they had a chance to win the game late. There was a late bucket by Pavle Kuzmanovic to give them the lead. And then I think it was Blackshear came down and hit a bucket near at the buzzer. It was a game that Boise State certainly could have won on the road. Wasn't able to get it done. They had a couple players fall out. So certainly is a game that we said it this morning on the morning show. You look at all the games that Boise State has to go to, all the road venues Boise State is going to play in. Certainly that game in this game tonight is – I hate to say easier, but when you look at going to the Pit, going to San Diego State, going to Logan, going to Colorado State, like this is probably the most winnable of all those road games. Not to say some of the others aren't either, but if you're ranking them, you're probably putting this one, first in terms of the best chance to win. So I was a little surprised to see the Vegas line at 6 points. Our friends at Circa have the line at 6.5. Thought that was a little high, to be honest with you. I would have had it at 3 or 4. But that they're giving a lot of respect to Nevada for what they've done and the home court here, which should be rocking before this game here tonight. So how are you enjoying your time in Reno? Not bad. Haven't really done much, but was able to get some lunch this afternoon. And it's been there's some snow on the ground, so it's been a nice day here in Reno. Hoping Roddy can get some points tonight. That would be nice, but they don't need points from him. They just need no turnovers. Take care of the ball, run the offense, find other guys for open shots. If he can have 8 assists to 2 turnovers again, Boise State would take that all day from Roddy in tonight's game. Creamy Cold Boise here on the ICCU YouTube chat has 76-73 as his score prediction. We got 73-64. Wow, Kareem the Dream thinks it's going to be a fairly comfortable win. Wouldn't that be something? Let's see. Try to get this quad 1 dub. Yeah, this would be the 3rd quad 1 win of the season for Boise State. It would be a massive game if they were able to get it, add to their resume. It would be another quad 1 win for Boise State if they were able to get it. So, again, Boise State on the floor warming up. There's some boos. And we got Robbie Robinson saying 69-71, 2-point win. Somebody's asking about the crowd here. Is it going to be close to a sellout? Yeah, there's going to be a couple open rows at the very top, but for the most part, the lower level is pretty much full. So it's going to be pretty much a real good atmosphere tonight. The student section is on break. You can see behind me the students are it won't be sold out, but it'll be close. But the student section is not in session, but there are some students that came anyway, and they're sitting behind us. I don't know how packed that section is going to be come game time, but it should be a fun atmosphere. The game is on Fox Sports 1. Again, you can listen to Bob and Abe, who will be the leading scorer for Boise State. Let's go Chibuzo Abo. Is this the Chibuzo Abo game? I think Chibuzo Abo goes for about 25 points. He's going to hit a couple big threes. I think Abo goes for about 25. I don't know if I should say this or not, but I actually think Boise State wins. I really do. And that's taking nothing away from Nevada, but I think Boise State can win this game. I think that Nevada is certainly a good team. They're going to play well in front of their home crowd. But I think Boise State is starting to play well at the right time. And I think that Nevada is good, but I don't know if they're quite as good as some of the metrics and some of the things out there and some of the people think they are. So, very easily could be wrong. And again, if Boise State does lose, this is not some bad loss, not some horrible loss. It's not a big deal. But if Boise State is able to steal this one and find a way to win, it would just be a massive win for Boise State to go to 3-0 in conference play and to have that first road win against the other top 5, top 6 teams in the conference. So Omar's going with the double-double, 16 and 11. Kay Foster also going with Omar for the leading scorer there. Let's see. What else we got here? Let's see. Got me fired up. Deggy with 25 is what Ben says there. So, again, we're at about 20 minutes till tip-off. I think the game's going to start at like 35. It's going to be a little bit late. I don't know if there'll be a slide or not. Connor showed up, 85-62. Good vibes only. Wow, that'd be a big win. And Connor is there in the front row behind the bench, so you never know what could happen here. So, should be a exciting game. Looking forward to it. I see my kids are in here in the chat. So my kids started their own YouTube channel, the Rains Boys with a Z. So if you want to go to their channel, they're behind in posting some videos, but they're making Legos and posting Legos and doing things. So Logan says his brother was with Connor, the guy in the orange. So there he is. I see him in the blue shirt over there. So there he is right there. Let's see. Max Rice scoring 23. 72-68. How about Colin Mitchell? Good to see you, Colin. Appreciate you for watching the show, man. Hope all is well there. First one Wolfpack loss about to become 2. How about that? So, again, I would show you, but there's really not much to see right now. Both teams are warming up on the court, and, again, we're on the baseline here. So 20 minutes till tip-off. We got to get off here pretty soon. The Mountain West rules require us to be off with 15 minutes on the clock here for the Mountain West rules. So we appreciate everybody for checking us out. Again, go subscribe if you can. We would love to have you. BroncoNationNews.com. Enter all those contests. You guys can keep the chat going if you'd like here in the YouTube chat. We're working on something where we can have a way to kind of live chat and watch the game together and see what happens here moving forward. But we don't have that capability yet. But appreciate you guys. BroncoNationNews.com. All of our subscription, we appreciate you. And we'll have the post-game show as well. But we thank all of our sponsors, Taco Bell, BVA Dev, Idaho Central Credit Union, the Blue and Orange Store, Lithia Ford of Boise. We really appreciate it. Obviously, our title sponsor, rowpaint.com, and our title sponsor here on this show, Lithia Ford of Boise. And perfect night. It's a Friday night. Get some cutwaters, enjoy some basketball. Going to be a lot of fun here as Boise State gets set to take on the Nevada Wolfpack. Big game for Boise State. My son's channel is Rains Boys with a Z. It's RAINZBOYZ. But they've only got like 4 videos, and there haven't been any in a while, so they're gonna work on that. But hopefully the post-game interview is a little longer in Reno this year. Do you guys remember that? I sent Colin Mitchell to Reno while I went to the KU Bowl game. Boise State lost. Leon Rice was in no mood to talk, and he had about 5 answers in about 15 words for our friend Colin Mitchell. That was one of the shortest post-game interviews in history, and I still feel like I owe a couple beers to Colin Mitchell for having to go through that last year. Fox Sports 1 is not subscription, but it is, you got to have a cable service or something to be able to watch that game. You can see Boise State warming up. You can see Nevada as well. Both teams on the court getting ready to warm up, and we're getting ready to play. We're about 18 minutes from tip-off. They're going to have the national anthem and things coming up here shortly as well. Hey, they got a new subscriber on the kids' YouTube channel. There we go. Appreciate that. Jaden says that the wheel is up to date, so we will have the wheel on the post-game show. Thank you, Jaden, for doing that on a Friday night, and we should, if I remember to do it, have our giveaways on the post-game show. So make sure you're subscribed. Is Jeff Choate in the building? Have not seen Jeff Choate. It's a Friday night. Don't know if they have any recruits or what's going on, but we'll have to see if Jeff Choate is in the building tonight or not. The new Nevada football coach. Obviously some ties to Boise State. So appreciate all you guys. We're going to jump off here. We'll have this is one of those road games where they're trying to get on the charter to head home. So the good news for you is we're going to be firing this baby up right when the game ends. So as soon as the game ends on Fox Sports 1, within 5 minutes, we'll be live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And we'll have live interviews with Coach Rice and some players right here live on the show. And it'll start within 5 minutes of the game ending. So as soon as the game ends, flip over to your smart TV, to the YouTube app, crack open another Cutwater after hopefully a Boise State victory. And we'll be on live right after the game ends within 5 minutes or so on the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show. So appreciate you guys. They're going to get ready for the national anthem here and then count this thing down. Tip-off coming up here in about 15 minutes or so. Appreciate you guys. Go subscribe if you can. Like this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's free. And we appreciate all you guys. Friday night in Reno, going to be a fun one. Big one for Boise State. And we'll have you covered. BroncoNationNews.com. You can read our coverage. You can follow me on Twitter at BJ Rains. BNN, Bronco Nation on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all those areas. Please subscribe to our channels. And join us for the post-game show. Boise State and Nevada, we got exclusive coverage for you right here at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. Enjoy the game, folks. We appreciate you for checking us out. And we will talk to you guys real soon. Big one for Boise State coming up in about 10 minutes. Go grab another Cutwater, and we will talk to you guys shortly. Bronco Nation News, live from Reno at the Lawlor Events Center, BroncoNationNews.com.